Hey everyone, welcome to part 3 of this special edition of Sticky Note Marketing, my weekly marketing show to give you actionable tips that you can implement in your business this week to grow your audience, your connections, and your sales online. I'm Mary Czarnecki. I am your host. If you are just joining me or haven't listened to any of my trainings before or any episodes of Sticky Note Marketing, I am a marketing strategist, speaker, coach, consultant, and I work with both small businesses, large national brands, and scrappy startups, as well as professionals either looking to grow their career or transition from being a core professional to an entrepreneur. And I help them do a couple different things. Number one, create and grow the kind of audience that needs what they have to offer and also thrive in a challenging entrepreneurial environment. So this is a time of uncertainty. We all know this. And so I felt compelled this week to do this 3-part series, drawing on my experience as a remote worker and virtual business owner since 2007 to share with you some of the key things that have helped me thrive in a remote virtual situation. Whether you are a student now adapting to learning virtually, whether you are an instructor now adapting to teaching virtually, whether you're a professional now adapting to actually managing a team or creating an impact or growing your personal brand or your career in a virtual environment, or you're a business owner and entrepreneur trying to understand how to evolve your business and maintain and grow your visibility, your connections, your prospects, your pipeline, and your sales in an uncertain environment. This is for you. This is why I created this 3-part series. So the first part we talked about a couple days ago was specifically about you. I firmly believe that as professionals, as business owners, we are not able to serve the people on our teams, in our worlds, in our audiences, in our client base, unless we fill our own cup first. So part 1 was all about my tips for you in terms of how to do that, how to keep you supported in a way that will allow you then to serve others. So if you haven't checked that out, I'm going to post down below the links to replay of part 1 and part 2. In part 2, we actually talked about your systems and your space. So obviously, once you've got your support right, your mindset right, it's about the things that allow you to do what you do. So I gave you a few tips around that. So today we're going to talk about part 3, which is really all about the systems. It's about the stuff I geek out on, which is the marketing part. So how do we actually grow your authority, your visibility? How do we maintain it or grow it in this time of uncertainty, in this current environment? So how do we actually improve your visibility? How do we connect you with the people who need your expertise, that need what you have to offer? So I want to talk about a couple different things. Number one, the most important thing is to stay relevant. We obviously don't want to be coming out with messages or content or images or anything like that that seems tone deaf to what our audience needs. So we want to stay relevant to our audiences, which means showing up, which means having conversations, which means talking to people, asking questions. Don't make assumptions about what your audience is, whether that's your team or your reports if you're a professional, or if you or your team or your clients or your prospects if you're a business owner. Don't make assumptions about what they need from you. Ask them. So one of the things I teach in my Audience Intelligence Accelerator course is how to open those conversations, how to actually understand what is keeping people up at night, not just those things they might verbalize as, oh, I want this, I need this, but getting the right questions to be able to dig deeper below that, to get to the underlying insight, what actually is important to them and what way can you serve them most effectively. So trying to understand what your team or your audience needs most from you now is going to be essential to be able to be the person, be the leader that you want to be. Number 2, staying authentic. So obviously this is not the time to be doing fear-based marketing. I've already seen some entrepreneurs, some business owners, and even some national brands come from a fear-based space. In my opinion, I don't believe that lines up with staying authentic. Yes, acknowledge the fact that people are dealing with uncertainty, that people are dealing with fear, but tap into your strengths, tap into your expertise. What is it about what you can offer that will allow people to move beyond or be able to at least deal with their current situation? So figure out and take some time. I talk about one of the approaches and systems that I've developed, which I call the power of the pause. there is power in pausing before you go out with a new content or a new launch or new program to kind of think to yourself, does this really match what my people need from me now? And does it tap into my strengths and expertise? Because you have something that no one else in the world can offer to your audience. And it's important to make sure that you're letting that shine, but in a way that's authentic and meaningful, that's not coming from a fear-based kind of marketing tactic, that it's actually tapping into something that is giving people a new opportunity based on working with you and your expertise. And number 3, I want to invite you to consider new ways of either bringing your services and offers to market or exploring new ways to make connections, joint ventures, and networking. So I mentioned a little bit about this when I was talking about creating your support network in terms of filling your own cup and providing yourself with enough support so that we're not feeling isolated. But this is also important when it comes to building your visibility, increasing your connections, growing your personal brand and your authority online, making sure that you're transitioning from any of those in-person networking groups that you might have been doing to more online presence places. So things like online Facebook groups. Facebook groups are being like a huge resource to people right now. Virtual meetups are a fantastic way to do this. Virtual coffee chats. We're going to be doing a virtual coffee chat this coming week in my own personal Facebook group. If you want to check that out, I'm going to post the link to my Facebook group down below. I'd love for you to join us there. Online summits, online giveaways, doing Facebook Lives for your community. If you can't talk to someone personally, the best substitute is going to be able to connect with people at least through video. Now, I'm currently working with several different clients that don't love themselves on video. This is a time where we can be kind to ourselves, but also understand that there's something that we have of value that others might need during this time, and showing up for them in a way that still feels good and authentic for you, but provides them with the resources that you have to offer, potentially through video, is going to be essential. So if you have any worry about showing up on video, come into the group. Let's talk about it. This is something that I have developed as a skill over time. I'm not the best in the world about it. I'm not a paid actor on Broadway. However, I do know some things about connecting with your audience online. So here's the thing. Also, in terms of transitioning how you're networking with people, some businesses are also going to have to start thinking about how to transition their services online. So things like restaurants, service providers that provide their services in person, things like local businesses, boutiques, actors, musicians, all of these kind of service-based or location-based type businesses are going to need to be a little creative. So I've already started working with some friends, some colleagues, some clients that are dealing with this situation. So if that's the situation you're in, do not feel like you have to figure it all out on your own. Again, I invite you to come into the community. I'll post the link below. Start the conversation, because trying to figure out this on your own is just going to get you in spin mode. So that's why it's so important to explore these different networking groups, these different support groups, whether it's my group or some other group that supports you in finding out how to manage in this time of uncertainty. I really encourage you to find that support for you. Now, whether it's me or someone else, I would love to provide you with that support. Like I said, my free Facebook group is a private community, so I do ask a couple really quick questions just to make sure that we're keeping out any spammers, but it is an open community, a free community, and a safe space for entrepreneurs, professionals, business owners, and corporate employees either looking to grow their personal brand in corporate or move from corporate to entrepreneurship, to start the conversation and brainstorm with each other how we can support each other, and maybe supporting each other just means being a sounding board for someone during this time. So like I said, I'm going to post the link to the community below. I invite you to join us there. I hope this 3-part series has been of value to you. Please stay tuned. I am going to be releasing new training this coming week to help businesses do a couple key essential things that are going to be important not to take your eye off the ball during this time. Growing your list, growing your visibility, growing your online following. These are all things I'm going to be talking about this week. I'm also opening a special working group where I'm going to be working with a limited number of business owners for 12 weeks starting March 27th. So if you are interested in actually getting my MBA brain working on your business together for 12 weeks during this time and you need that level of support, please DM me. I have just a couple spots left in that group. I'm being very intentional about the community I'm putting together in that group, but I am looking for businesses who specifically want not just the systems and the what should I be doing, but also the accountability and the sounding board to kind of say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm seeing this, now what do I do next? That's the kind of support I want to provide in this container. So if that sounds of interest to you, please DM me and say, tell me more, and let's have a conversation about that. Otherwise, I will see you on the next episode of Sticky Note Marketing or in the Facebook group, and wishing you and sending you the best healthy vibes and business success vibes this week and always in your business. Cheers.